Out on the St. Clair River again, doing some whipping. I'll show you our setup. Again, we're in 20 feet of water tonight. Water temp is 49. Got a box full of fish. Got the lure lipstick out there. That's the back plug, Rapala chartreuse, white with silver. About a 8-foot lead down to a pencil plug. Got the chartreuse down to, that's about a 6-foot lead down to a chartreuse, or I'm sorry, silver with orange, and a 4-foot lead, and he's fishing a 3-weight with about a 3-foot dropper.
Yeah.
3-foot dropper. And I'm already out. I got a oh man, I can't switch the camera around. Oh yeah, I already got it switched around. Never mind. I've got a John Latham, what's my second plug? I think it's a
gold and something.
Gold ladder back, and a Chrome Wonder Bread on the front. And we're doing pretty well tonight. We went jigging first. I put 7 in the box. And then we set up for whipping, and we've thrown back 5 or 6 fish.
Something like that.
But it's a north wind, about 4 to 6 miles an hour. There was supposed to be some rain coming in, but it missed us by a little bit. Perfect night. Tried the gold and orange again first. I wasn't doing too hot, so I switched up, and I had a gold and orange on the back still, and then a bleeding olive on the middle, and I got one on that. And then I switched up again, and we let some rope out on the boat, so we moved back about 20 feet, and we just started sticking them. Had 2 doubles. So we'll try to get some fish on camera for you, but I know the last video I didn't really go over the setup too much because I was in the water already. So both of us are running, like I said, back leaders about 8 feet, second leaders 6 feet, first leaders 4 feet. Running a pencil plug to another pencil plug to a Rapala or a bomber. And I'm using a shank, it's a steel shank that they use for hand line, and we use them for whipping as well. It's got, I think, 4 or 5 different spots for depth wise you can connect onto, and fishing the top connection part, top lead. So that puts me at probably about the same, about 36 inches off the bottom. Is that really? Is that how high we are? Like your belly button? Yeah, like 2.5, 3 feet off the bottom. Usually I fish that thing on the 3rd snap up, which is like, I don't know, 18 to 24 inches, I want to say. And I do good, but it seems like these fish are
all hitting the Rapala.
Yeah, they're all hitting the Rapala, and being a little higher for some reason has upped our numbers for some reason. I don't know if they're hugging bottom a little more. The water's a little stained today after that rain we got. But I don't know if they're hugging bottom more and they're having to look up at that bait. A lot of times when they have to come down on that bait, your hookup ratio is decreased because obviously on a pencil plug and Rapala, them hooks are on the bottom, so they hit the top of that bait and you don't get as many hooks into them. But if they have to swim up at that bait, your hookup ratio is a lot higher. Been rubbing pencil plugs with the lure lipstick, walleye scent. Got the John Latham. Probably on the John Latham again. Guy paints up some beautiful plugs and Rapalas. This is a smaller fish on my back plug. Ah, I just lost him. No, he's still on there.
He's not very big.
No, small fish. So when you're whipping, you just set that first plug in the boat wherever you can. And set that second plug in. Basically, you're just hand over fisting that fish until you get them up. I don't use a net, we just fling them over the boat side. But there's a probably 13-incher that's going to go back. Here on the St. Clair River, just like everywhere now, it's 15 inches. And that's what's producing tonight, right there. Seems like chartreuse is a hot color. He's doing really good on his chartreuse.
Yep.
Got a lot of stuff floating down the river right now, so
On that plug.
gotta get your plugs back in the water. I've been using my light to see when I have a break in debris floating down, because if you get any stuff on them plugs, one, it'll foul up and you'll feel it when you're whipping. Two, if you got a leaf or a chunk of crap hanging off your plug, then fish aren't gonna really want to hit it like they would if it was clean. We're not using line counters tonight, so we don't really know how far back we're getting them. It doesn't really matter. We've got fish right up underneath the boat. We've got fish halfway back. Got fish way back there. But at first we were getting them way back there, weren't we?
Yeah, until we moved.
Yeah, so I let some more line out, and seems to be better now. There's a little hole we're fishing on. When you're whipping, you usually want to, good job. When you're whipping, you usually want to, scan the area below you before you throw your anchor.
Feels pretty good.
Feels like a good one. You want to look for a hole or a break or just some kind of difference in the river bottom, and throw your anchor above that and try to position your boat to where you're going to drop them plugs back into that. And a lot of times the line counters help you out a lot, because you get a fish, you look down at your counter real quick and you can say, okay, I was 80 feet back. I need to work back to 80 feet to try to get them fish again, because usually they're schooled up in that area. But this time of year, there's a lot of fish in this river, so pretty much you can drop your plugs back there. If you're in the right area, there are dead spots in the river that won't produce as well as others, but
You should catch fish just about anywhere. Just some are going to be a lot better than others.
yeah, better fish.
Hit that lip ball.
And when you drop that sinker and all them plugs over the side of the boat, you just free line that spool down to the bottom. You jig it or whip it forward and you release line out. Keep doing that until you feel that sinker bounce off the bottom. And then when you're right close to the boat, that's a good one.
That's a gooder.
Yep, that's a gooder. When you're closer to the boat, that sinker will move back down the river faster. And just keep working it back, but maintain contact with the bottom. Keep working that sinker, bouncing it back down the river until you get to a spot where you can't go back any further. Sometimes that's a hump and you can lift your rod up in the air and bounce it over that hump. Other times you're just so far back that sinker has evened out with the current and you're not going to get any further back. But yeah, if you get to a spot where you can't work it back, try to bounce it up off the river, bringing it high, try to get over that hump, because usually you get over that hump and you're going to hit a drop and there's going to be a fish sitting back there waiting for it. Yeah, I think you can swap him out for sure. Yep, for sure right there. And then when you get to a spot where you can't work your baits back anymore at all, no matter how hard you try, start trying to bring it towards the boat a little bit. Bring it a little closer to the boat. Unless you're getting back to that spot where you can't work it back anymore and you're getting fish, do that every time. But if you're getting back and you can't work it back anymore, just slowly start bringing them baits back towards the boat.
Don't be afraid to reel all the way in and start over.
Yeah, yep. That's always a good sign too. We're using 1.5 ounces. Wait, you got 2 ounces on, don't you?
No, I got 1.5 ounces.
We're both using 1.5 ounces. That weight determines how far you're going to get back behind the boat. So if you got fish right underneath your boat, use a heavier weight. It's more wear and tear on your arm, but them fish are there, you need to be there. I got a nice little channel in the inside of my boat that I set my plugs in. Just take your time, just make sure you keep constant pressure on that fish so he stays hooked, and then just flip him over in the boat. Careful all them hooks, wait till the fish calms down. Grab a hold of them. I'll be the guy that says that and then get the treble hook in my hand. A lot of times it's a good idea to keep pliers on the boat. You get a hook in your hand, you're not gonna have a good night. Again, John Latham, thank you, man. Painting up some beautiful plugs. Everybody knows they produce. Back it goes. Then throw your back plug in. Try to not get tangled up like I just did. Yeah, this is one of the fun things about whipping all these damn hooks and line, but it's an extremely productive way to fish. Throw that second plug in along with the third, and then you just start spooling that line out. I'll pull up as I release line out, pull up, release line, drop it, and then I'm just waiting to feel bottom. There, I just hit bottom. Like I said, it's going to want to go back pretty quick first for a little while because you're close to the boat. But it'll even out. We got a tournament going on right now. It's a local tournament, right? Just a little Marble Eye Classic.
Yeah.
Marble Eye Classic here in the St. Clair River. A lot of guys get into it, and it's not big like the MWT or.
No, it's just a $10 tournament.
Yeah, shore fishermen get into it. Anybody, boat, shore. Got a kids. Got a kids event. A lot of fish, but there's some good ones down there. We've been getting some good fish in this area. Haven't gotten that big fish tonight. That's what we're out here for. We're trying to get that big one for the tournament.
Trying to get that big. On that Rapala again.
Got a skier.
This little guy. They just want that Rapala.
That chartreuse one again?
It's been hot. It's been hot.
Dude, you run that every time we're out here, and you rarely change. You got one out on that Rabble browser tonight, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I got one on a Rebel Rouser too.
A Rabble browser?
Fire Tiger Rebel Rouser. But
not a lot of 13s, but a lot of 15, 17.
that lure has been hot.
Yep.
Haven't had to change it once, other than when I broke the first one.
Right.
Just
And when-
crushed it.
Right. That one hit it pretty hard. You broke that one last week.
Yeah. No, that one I got before that fish stopped me.
Did it?
Like I started here and I got to about here and he stopped me. I was like, ooh. That feels heavy. Nice fish.
Yeah, we got a good mess going on. Oh, I lost that one. It's crazy. How the heck do you lose a fish when there's 9 hooks on one bait? They get off sometimes.
Get off a lot.
Yeah. I think that's 6 fish I've missed tonight.
I missed 4 in one drift back.
Really?
Yeah. Just couldn't hook them, I guess. Alright. hard to slow it down.
And I was hoping for one more to keep this video short. I mean, we could sit here and catch fish all night for you guys if we wanted to, but a lot of people lose interest after about 7 minutes or so on YouTube. I think. I mean, if I'm watching a video, what do you think? You watch it for maybe?
Depends on what kind of video. Like hunting, like a deer hunting video that's very knowledgeable, I'll watch.
Yeah.
But it has to be very knowledgeable to get me to watch it that long.
Right.
But no longer than 10 minutes.
Yeah. That's why I stopped that one at 10 the other night. But we had poor lighting. Tonight we got our headlights pointed at us, so it's hard for us to see, but I know it's going to be good for you guys to see. I was having problems with my anchor a couple nights ago, so I guess here's some knowledge for you. If you are going to anchor up in the St. Clair River, I kind of learned the hard day. Well, it was a south wind that day, and anchoring in this river on a south wind is difficult. So you want to have, I don't know, it depends on your boat size. There's all kinds of things and information out on the internet that you can look up.
At least 100 feet.
Yeah, at least 100 feet of rope, 6 feet of chain, 10 to 15 pound anchor.
28 depending if you got a big boat.
Yeah, depending on your boat size. But you want to make sure that you're starting to head down river before you throw that anchor. Because if you throw it while you're going forward, it's deployed in the wrong direction. You want that anchor in front of the chain, that chain to lay down, and then you want to let out at least 50 to 75 feet of rope before you try to start to grab. And then once that anchor grabs, you can tie off wherever you want. But if you don't have enough chain, your anchor's not going to grab right. It's going to just kind of float and drag there on the bottom. Them teeth won't sink into that dirt. But yeah, I got a new anchor, so I'm good now. Man, I can't believe I missed that fish.
I missed one right at the top of that hole.
And also when you're applying scents like lure lipstick, you can apply it.
Oh, what the hell?
Miss one?
Dude, I hooked him twice.
You can apply it anywhere on your bait. You can apply it to your line, just as long as that scent's going downstream of where your baits are. So a lot of times I
like to put it on the lip of the bill.
Yeah. A lot of times with the plugs and stuff like that, I try to avoid putting it on the plug. You know what I mean? Because then you put it in your box. You either got to wipe it down or something like that. So I'll apply it right to that leader line. Or I'll apply it right to the bait, just a little bit though, along the back of it, so it's easy to wipe. Because if you wipe it on the belly where all them hooks are and then you try to take a towel to it, you're just asking for problems. But it doesn't take much. You just rub this stuff right on there. It's a tube of chapstick, so you just rub it right on the bait or the leader line and apply it maybe, depending on how much you put on there, apply it maybe every half hour or so. Oh, do we got each other?
No, I got the fish, guy.
I just missed one. Yep.
I should have hit three that one.
I missed mine.
They're starting to get a little aggressive.
I felt something. I seen you reeling it in, and I was like, man, do we got each other? I think I had one, and it was swimming upriver because I couldn't find bottom for a minute.
I got a fairly heavy fish.
A fairly heavy fish?
Yeah.
Good.
Another nice one.
Hopefully we can get a double.
Go over my lead, guy. I think you hit that Rapala again. Sure did. That's all they hit is that Rapala.
I've gotten a couple on my pencil plugs.
I got one fish on my pencil plug tonight. And I've changed a couple times. I've got a bright colored pencil plug, but they just want that back one.
Ooh, yeah, there's a good one. Nice fish.
That's a keeper. That's a good one. Just a skinny one.
Nice fish. Hold it up for the camera. Yeah, nice fish, man. Flip flop.
Ow! That and stab me with his spine. So we wanna do it.
Swap them up.
See if we got something. That's like the smallest fish there. It's pretty bad when our small fish aren't very small.
Yeah, what was that? 17 and 18 incher you just threw back?
Yeah.
For what, a 1920?
Long fish. That was a long fish. Got me good. Stuck me with his claw right in the, with his back right in the
I
can.
hope my stuff's not messed up after whatever happened to me.
I only had a fish. I had the one. I missed him. I don't even know how.
Alright, well, like I said, keep the video short. I'll cut it off because y'all probably ain't watching anymore anyways. So, peace.